My question is about contrast, and I like your analogy of the buffet and trying, knowing what you don't like.
Choices.
Yeah.
It's choices.
Yeah.
I like some things better than others.
Yeah, so sometimes I feel like I've tried something and it's okay, but there's got to be something better. So then I try other things, and it's not as good as the first thing that I tried. So then I try to go back, and it's gone.
Well, let us just say to you, and you may not like to hear this, but you eventually will come to really like to hear it, there's always something better. No matter how good it is, there is always something better. But the philosophy that you're wanting to practice is satisfaction where I am and eager for what's better. Because if there's something better, which means this isn't good enough, then you can't move toward what's better. But in the appreciation of what is, there's always something better. So you just look for the upside in everything. Make the best of everything. Compliment it as much as you can, even if it's not easily complimentable. Either that or distract yourself in some powerful way.
I feel like I often am searching for something better because I think there is something
not
better
often,
and
always,
more.
Always, always, always. You were born with that vibrational mantra because you are a genius creator, knowing that there is more expansion, and you've come for joyful expansion. So when someone says to you, be satisfied with what is, they don't know that they're saying it, but what they're actually saying is, look not beyond what is. And we say, then what they're actually encouraging you to do is just only continue to recreate what is, which will bring you to boredom and stagnation and eventual decline, you see.
Yeah, I do get bored very easily, which is why I'm always dabbling in different things and trying different adventures.
Let's define what a feeling of boredom is. Boredom, so you have a very expansive inner being who is reveling in everything that you've queued up. And all of the cooperative components are bringing all of that around. And the exhilaration of all of that is being experienced by the source within you. If in some moment you're so repeatedly focused upon what is that you're not allowing yourself vibrational access to this, the feeling of boredom is the feeling that you get. What it is, it's differing opinion. Source is exhilarated and you are not. That's all it means. A lot of people deliberately hold back. They deliberately hold back from all that could be. And part of it is because you've experienced overwhelmment. In other words, you're really trying to maintain the balance of your vibration. And we are really encouragers of maintaining in other words, we don't want you to be bored and we don't want you to be overwhelmed. We want you to be satisfied and eager. Mm-hmm. And so, but if you're satisfied, what that really means is you're reaching and aligning and reaching and aligning and reaching and aligning and reaching and aligning. Here's how it works. Contrast causes you to ask for more. So you know what you don't want, causes you to know what you do want, even though you're not articulating it very well. Because you're more accustomed, most of you, to pointing out what could be better or what isn't as good as it could be. So then you sort of catch wind of deliberate creation and you begin being aware of the way you feel. And so you decide that you're going to guide yourself more specifically. So you deliberately make more concentrated focus in the direction of what you want. And you find the relief of it, which feels nice to you, and the exhilaration of it, which feels nice to you. So you start practicing the vibration of what's in the vortex, even though it hasn't manifested. You can't observe it, you can't see it, but you sense it, and you want to feel good, so you make an effort to be happy anyway, and you manage to find vibrational alignment with it. And then, an interesting thing, it becomes less important that it manifests because you're feeling greater ease. And the more ease you feel, the less important it is that it manifests, and then it manifests. And you say, well, that's screwy. The less I need it to manifest, the more easily it can manifest. And we say, but think about why. The tension of it not manifesting is keeping it from manifesting. Mm-hmm. The relaxation and the expectation that it will allows it to, you see. Isn't that interesting? So So we want to give you a full picture. You know what you don't want, you know what you do want. But first, you're not a vibrational match to that. So you think about it, you talk about why you want it, you try to find the feeling place of it, you manage to find the feeling place of it. You manage to find the feeling place of the presence of it more than the feeling place of the absence of it, and then just like the fulcrum, just like the teeter-totter on the fulcrum, it tips. And as it tips, now you feel even more exhilaration, and then it manifests. And now there you stand in a new vibrational place, because now you have a new vantage point. Now you're observing what you wanted more, because now it's there. But you also have now another set of contrasting experiences. They moved, they're vibrationally different, but they will always be another set of contrasting experiences to inspire more from you. So you settle in there, but you're not content with what exactly is for very long. And out of that now comes, I know what I don't want, I know what I do want. So now you're not familiar with that because it's sort of a new vibrational feeling. So you do the work. You think about it. You think about why you want it. You try to find the vibrational feeling place of it. You imagine it. You go general. You do anything that you can to make friends with, to become vibrationally one with this new idea that hasn't manifested, so it's still strange. It's just a new idea until you become a vibrational match with it, and now it clicks into place, and that teeter-totter tips again, and manifestation, it flows right into your experience, and now you have that manifestation, and you also now have a new set of contrasting experiences with which to enjoy and explore life experience. So again, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, but you're not really used to thinking about what you do want in that way. It's a sort of new vibration, but you want to feel good. You've got the bug of happy now. You know that you want to feel good. You know that you'd rather be optimistic. Now the manifestation is not as important to you as the way you feel. And you've already demonstrated to yourself a couple of times that you can feel good even in the absence of what you want, just with the idea of what you want. So you find vibrational alignment with it because now you want to be happy just because you want to be happy. So now it was easier this time because there was less to overcome. And so now it manifests, and now you observe it, and you feel better, and a new set of contrasting experiences come. You know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and so you know what you do want, and there it is, and it's a little weird, but not that weird. It's not as weird as it was weird before, because now you're starting to trust in your ability to manifest things. Now you believe in the process. Now you trust the laws. Now you've convinced yourself life is supposed to be good for you, and you think, why not? That came, that came, that came, that came, that came. Why not this? You begin to understand that it's not big things and little things. It's just aligned things and not aligned things. It's just my focusing upon what I want or my not focusing on what I want. No difference between a castle and a button. If you want it, they are equally easy to accomplish. They are equally easy to accomplish, you see. It's just that more of you are more likely to focus on the castle than the button, and more of you are more likely to focus on the difficulty of accomplishing the castle than the button. That was very clear, wasn't it?
So how do you deal with regrets if you want to go back? And
we wouldn't.
Just no regret.
Regret is wasted now. Regret is wasted now. Regret is, I've decided in this moment in time to focus in a way that my inner being wouldn't join me. I've decided to dig up something that is so vibrationally distorted and far away from who I have really become and who my inner being is, that there's no possible way that I'll even feel a hint of my inner being while I focus upon this regret. And I will club myself about the head and neck with it until I fall asleep. And when I fall asleep, I'm going to waken in an improved vibrational state to some degree, with maybe a better ability to focus. We would spend not one moment regretting anything, for a number of reasons. First of all, every one of you did the best that you knew to do in the moment. Not one of you deliberately did something in order to cause distortion in your vibration and to mess up your life experience. And if anyone has ever done anything that looks like it was harmful to another, that was not their main motive. They were not trying to harm another. They were just distorted in their vibrational discord, in the disallowing of the well-being that was natural to them. Children throw tantrums pretty easily, and adults do too. And we don't think it's a bad thing. We think a tantrum is sort of appropriate because you're supposed to feel really good. And when you don't, something is off, you see. And so, but regretting a moment of offness is wasted time. Just get on. Regretting being misaligned? Why would you do that when you have the ability to get into alignment now if you want to? If you've decided that you want to be happy, and you can, you see.
Okay.
You have the ability to focus, and you have the ability to feel. You have the ability to sense your relationship with the other vibrational part of you. We didn't speak that as clearly today as we have because we can feel the leading edgeness of this crowd. But it is really worth acknowledging that you were source energy before you came into this body, and that's a high-flying energy. And when you came into this body and began exploring the details, the specific details, you did take a dip in your vibration, but you knew you would. You came to do that because you knew the value of the contrast. And you knew that you had the ability to reclaim that high-flying frequency. So you said, I'm willing to go forth and explore the variety in order to come to new conclusions. And there's really no risk because the source within me is going to stay right up to speed with every new idea that is born. So source is staying up to speed with every new idea that is born. There is a collective consciousness vortex that includes everything that everyone has ever wanted. And there is your specific vortex that you have carved out. And your inner being stands in vibrational alignment with that, you see. So as you move through your day and you keep adding more to your vortex, you really owe it to yourself, if you want to feel good, to do your best to stay up to speed with your ever-expanding self. And that's the part that people don't understand. They don't realize that every day they're going to become more. And if you're not aware that you have become more and understand that you can reach for the allowance of that moreness by reaching for thoughts that feel good to you, then chances are you're like a lot of people who are just looking, observing what's going on around you and not keeping up with your own expansion. That's why the younger you are, the more delightful you are to yourself and to others. Because you have picked up less baggage that you're using as your excuse to not keep up with who you are. But what about someone who is born fresh, who can explore, and who can launch rockets, who is aware of how they feel, who is deliberately keeping up to speed? Wouldn't you just love to be that person? And you know there's not a reason in the world for you not to be, now that you know what you now know. If you have believed even a fraction of what we've said to you today, if you believe that you are vibration, and if you believe that the larger part of you is calling you homeward toward that aligned energy, and if you believe that your emotions are your indicator of where you stand in that journey, then there is never a reason for you to feel regret. Regret is a long practice, discordant vibration, you see. You might feel a little wave of not enoughness. You might feel a little wave of discontent. But in the moment that you begin to feel negative emotion, from what you know now, you ought to be able to say to yourself, hey, I know exactly what that means. I just conjured a thought, activated it, got it going in myself, and it is a vibrational opinion that is a far cry from who I really am and what I really want. Now, what is it that I am? Who is it that I am? What is it that I really want? Oh, yeah, I remember now. And if you'll just go general, I want to be happy. I want the world to be a good place. I want us to get along. I want us to be happy. I want the children to be happy. I want us to be playful. I want us to be nice to each other. I want us to appreciate one another. I want to love in the way that I sometimes do. I want to feel love to those people who are looking for love, but I want to feel love to those people who don't even know me or who aren't looking specifically to me for love. I want to be the uplifter that I was born to be, but I want to be the expanded being that I was born to be too. I want to keep expanding. I want to keep exploring. I want contrast to feel good to me. I want there to be lots of choices. I want to become a better and better chooser. But I want to know that it doesn't matter what I choose and I can always get back. It doesn't matter if I lose my alignment. I want to know that I can reclaim my alignment. I want others to know it too. I want us to be more playful with each other. I want us to be better to each other. I want us to be nicer to each other. I want us to be more of who we are as we interact with each other. I want us all to reclaim. I want us all to claim the heritage that we felt when we made the decision to come. I know that every one of us came with the intention of feeling good and being of value and feeling the upliftment of this time-space reality. I want to be more like the beasts who know the well-being. I want to trust in the ongoing co-creative properties of this time-space reality. I want to feel the balance and well-being of this planet. I want to know what the bear knows. I want to feel the fullness of all of that. I want to be a deliberate creator. I want to feel vibration. I want to think a thought and deliberately feel what the content of that thought feels like. And I want to measure the feeling of that thought against the thought that my inner being is having in the same moment. I want to experience the source within me in this moment. I want to believe and know. I want to know that all who have come before me are potentially present with me. I want to gather the collective consciousness of the artist when I paint, and of the singer when I sing, and of the musician when I write music. I want to garner the collective consciousness of the wisdom of all the parents of the world when I parent, or the teachers of the world when I teach. I want to receive the benefit of all that we have lived and all that we have collectively gathered. I want to be all that I have come to be, but I want to experience all that we have all come to be. I want to be a physical expression of the source within me. I want this moment in time to be the powerful moment in time that it can be. I want to be all that I have become, not all that I can be, because all that I can be will never be, because there will always be more that I can become, you see.